Hi Deb, how are you?
I'm great. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. All good.
Great, great. How is
Hey everyone,
everybody?
how's everyone? We're very happy to have you here. Welcome to our guest lecture today. Let's wait for a couple more minutes until more people connect, but
Hope everyone's doing well.
can you please just now maybe share with us where are you guys from, or where are you watching us from? That'd be amazing. Well, maybe we can start now. Hello everyone, I'm Camila. I'm the marketing specialist for Hospitality Academy, and today we're here with Deb Dziena, and we will be talking about how to overcome the challenges in the hospitality industry as a young leader. So that's going to be the topic. I hope you like it, and I hope it's very interesting for you. So
Thanks so
should we
much for having me.
welcome, Deb. We're very
So,
happy to have you as always, and I think this is going to be a very interesting topic for everyone. Why don't we start by you telling us a little bit about yourself?
sure. Well, everybody, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, good afternoon. I am here in Miami. I've been in the hospitality space for well over 20 years, and I have a very holistic view throughout my career, from operations as a young leader to a regional director in the hospitality space and running restaurants and in various concepts, as well as talent acquisition. Royal Caribbean, I worked at Royal Caribbean for several years, placing shipboard talent. So I have the talent acquisition side as well. So now I'm here, I'm coaching and mentoring emerging leaders and doing what I love best and seeing the future of the young generation flourish. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me and excited to have this chat.
Thank you for always being a part of it, for HA, for being with us and for sharing all your knowledge with us.
Sure.
Well, so maybe we can wait 1 or 2 more minutes and we'll start with the questions and the dynamic and everything. If you guys have any questions that you already thought of or anything, just share them with us and we'll be sure to answer them in a little bit.
Seems like we have quite a few people.
Yes. Okay, so then we're gonna start then. Just
okay.
Let's go.
Sounds
So
great.
In your whole career, as you told us, you've already had like a very long career in the industry. How do you gain the respect and trust of some of the most experienced experts and colleagues in the industry when you're just starting in the industry?
Sure. It's a great question. Often, my approach since the beginning has always been to come in easy. I feel coming in as aggressive never has proved well for me, and often didn't prove well for some of the people that I've hired. Actually, I should say a lot of the people that I've hired. Aligning myself with them, getting to know that person, right? So the more experienced people that have been there, understanding their point of view, asking questions, staying curious. I've always been in the position before the title. I felt like that really the title is it at certain parts of your career is irrelevant. Really understanding the business and being invested in the business. I would say rolling my hands up, working as a peer, rolling my sleeves up and being, it shows the investment in the operation. So again, not coming in too aggressive, asking for guidance, rolling your sleeves up, not being asked to do and just do, and don't be discouraged about making mistakes. I think it shows a huge investment, especially with those older colleagues that have been in the industry for a long time.
Amazing. Yeah, because that's how you learn, number one. Number two, I think proactivity right now is one of the most important assets someone can have as well. So
Yeah,
amazing.
absolutely.
Can you share an example with us of a difficult situation you might have encountered as a young woman in the hospitality industry and how you handle effectively?
Sure. So I started my career at IBM, and I shifted my early 20s. I shifted into the industry, and I started as a server. And I should say the first two experiences that I had, the entire staff, leadership staff was male dominated. And as it was, again, I put my head down, and I came in, I transitioned from a very casual environment to casual fine dining. I didn't even know how to carry a tray, really, when I started working in this operation, and I ended up being with them for 9 years. But what really I learned, was interesting, that I had caught wind when I got there, that not many people thought that I was going to make it based on my lack of experience. And I proved them wrong. And you really I worked in every department, front and back, stayed curious, raised my hand, really improved myself as an equal. Unfortunately, sometimes, we have to prove ourselves as women a little bit more. And hopefully that is continuously changing. But I ended up being there for 9 years, and I worked my way through every position and became a regional director with the business. So stick to your guns and prove them wrong. I think that's really just stay true to who you are.
Amazing and absolutely true. Now moving on to fostering a culture of inclusivity and authenticity in hospitality.
Yeah.
What steps have you taken to create an inclusive and authentic work environment in this industry? How can you include everyone and make everyone feel welcome at a work environment?
Well, I think in general, right, our industry is very diverse, and you know, I've always been open to hiring anyone disability, making sure that their voices are heard. And, I've stayed consistent, and I've encouraged my entire operation, my entire staff from day one. If they have the capabilities, if they come with the passion, whether we're all different walks of life, right? And this business is not one size fits all, but I've made sure that it was a part of my culture, that anybody that was qualified for the position that they were applying for, let's try and give them an opportunity. And it's really proved well for me. It really becomes instilled in your culture. And I think really your leadership and your voice matters. That if you hold people accountable to that, everybody will be included in your operation.
Amazing. And how do you ensure that those diverse voices that you mentioned are heard and valued with your team organization? How do you know it's not only you, but everyone who's listening to these people?
Sure, amazing question. We're having conversations on a daily, monthly, quarterly, right? Having roundtables, sharing individual conversations, making sure that you have a platform where your team can voice their opinions. Oftentimes, I think we have all staff meetings and things like that, and people are afraid to have those because they don't want it to be like disgruntled employees raising their hands and whatnot. But I think you get in front of it and you have those. We used to have weekly manager meetings, and then we used to have weekly roundtables with the staff, by department, mix the departments together. We cross-functionally had people in different positions. So oftentimes I would have some of the front of the house go and work in the back of the house, so that everybody understood what it was like to be in each other's shoes. So various things that you can do to stay committed to that part of your culture.
Amazing. And the empathy that these all things must show, I think it's incredible and definitely something that the industry needs. Now,
Absolutely.
Sorry?
I said absolutely. No,
Yeah.
the empathy is by far what I lead by, and I've tried to lead by always consistently and instilled that into my team is walking in other shoes. The job in this industry, we can't do it alone. And if you
Yeah.
think you can, your culture oftentimes becomes different than you expected, for sure.
Now, moving on to another topic, like we've been talking a lot recently about the balance between your professional life and your personal life. How do you prioritize your mental health and your well-being as a leader in this industry that's so demanding at most times?
I would say I've learned through trial and error, right? I've learned through early on in my career being very aggressive in my approach to getting ahead. That was for me personally, and led to several times of burnout throughout my career, especially early on. And prioritizing it now, if I were to give any advice, you are in the restaurant or wherever you work, hotel, more than you are at home, and your family, you come first. And I would say you're given personal time off, take it. If you are off on a Monday, take it. Oftentimes your bosses will push you and send an email on your day off. And if you do respond, which I still have a hard time doing, not responding, they will test your boundaries. I think if you set boundaries, clear expectations from the beginning that you are thinking of yourself first, your mental health is most important, and lean in on each other, lean in on a mentor to help you and guide you. But I would say take the time that's given to you in the demanding state that we're in, and set your clear boundaries for yourself, for sure.
Amazing. Yeah, I think it's very important because at these days and at the pace of life and the world right now, I think that's absolutely important. What strategies or practices would you recommend to these young professionals to maintain and balance a healthy lifestyle and work balance?
I would set up your day. I mean, oftentimes, a lot of people want to sleep in, catch up on doing laundry, going out with your friends, but have maybe a little bit of a plan in place. Don't be so spontaneous. I've learned often that sometimes if I don't have a plan for my day, I don't do what I wanted to do, and even if it's one thing, even if it's journal writing, going to see a friend, or going out to dinner with a friend, going out by yourself. I would try and set aside time for you, whatever it is you love to do, get it done, because it really, really will help you stay focused and have some peace of mind, for sure.
Amazing. So setting a date and time to doing these things instead of just improvising is what you would recommend. I think it's important because, as you said, if not, you just get very comfortable and maybe just not do anything because you don't have the drive to do it if you haven't planned on it. So I think it's
Yeah,
important. People think
and
that,
improvising too. Yeah, improvising.
yeah,
Improvising is and being spontaneous too, of course. Let's just get in the car and go. But yeah, as I mentioned, like setting some time aside. Like, I am going to the gym today, and I'm going to set aside an hour of my time. That's for me. My phone is off. Nobody else but me. And having that mental space for yourself is priority, for sure.
yeah, absolutely. I agree. Now, going back to a thing that you mentioned a bit earlier, talking about
Hmm.
mistakes and embracing the mistakes and learning and growing as an authentic leader. Can you tell us a personal story of when you made a mistake while working for this industry that later became a big lesson for you?
Absolutely. One that always I always think about, for sure, is as a young GM, I had allies, right? Some very, very important people that I had built to getting them to their next level. I have helped them, I coached them, I mentored them. And what I did not do is I've trusted them, but I did not verify their work.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is following up on inventory, for example, right? Every month we do an inventory, And what led to this, as I trusted them, did not verify their work, and it led to a big loss to the business.
Right.
Um, they were not they were not honest about some things, and now I know. And anytime I am coaching here, to tell you, trust your best people, but also verify no matter who they are, because it is important to make sure that you are checking and cross-checking your work.
Yeah, and I agree. Like for you checking on others people's work, it doesn't mean necessarily that you don't trust it, but it's just a part of the process, right? Like it needs to
Part of the
happen. There needs to
process.
be a story.
Yeah, it became a big lesson for our company that, you know, even the best sometimes don't do the best, and um, I I learned the hard way, but it's more or less something that will always stay with me, for the rest of my career, for sure.